Anam Makarashasmi.
Srotasam asmi Jannavi.
Shrotasamasmi Jahnavi. Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
पवनः पवतामस्मि।
Ramah Shastrabritamaham.
रामः शस्त्रभृतामहम्।
Jashanam Makarashasmi.
जशानां मकरश्चास्मि।
Shrotasamasmi Jahnavi.
श्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी। पवनः पवतामस्मि।
Pavana Pavatamasmi
रामः शास्त्रभृतामहम्।
Ramasastra Britamaham
जशानां मकरश्चास्मि।
Jasana Makaraschasmi
श्रोतसाम् अस्मि जाह्नवी।
Shrotasam Nasmi Janavi Pavana Pavatamasmi
Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
Ramasastra Britamaham
Ramah Shastrabratamaham.
Jasana Makaraschasmi
Jasanam Makaraschasmi.
Shrotasam Asmi Janavi
Strotasam Asmi Janavi. Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
Ramah Shastrabratamaham.
Ramah Shastrabhitamaham.
Jasanam Makaraschasmi.
Shashanam Makarashasmi.
Strotasam Asmi Janavi.
Rotasam Asmi Janavi. Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
पवनः पवतामस्मि।
Ramah Shastrabhitamaham.
रामसहस्रपितामहम्।
Jashanam Makarashasmi.
जशानां मकरश्चास्मि।
Storasamasmi Janavi.
स्त्रोतसामस्मि जानवी। पवनः पवतामस्मि।
पवनः पवत
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
रामसहस्रपितामहम्।
Ramah Shastra Pratamaham.
जशानां मकरश्चास्मि।
Jashanam Makarashashmi.
स्त्रोतसामस्मि जानवी।
Shrotasamasmi Janavi. Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
Pavana Pavatamasmi.
Ramah Shastra Pratamaham.
Rama Sastra Britamaham.
Jashanam Makaraschasmi.
Jasana Makarashasmi.
Srotasam Asmi Janavi.
Jyotisam Asmi Janavi. Pavana Pavatamasmi.
पवनः पवतामस्मि।
Rama Sastra Britamaham.
रामशस्त्रभृतामहम्।
Jasana Makarashasmi.
जशानं मकरश्चास्मि।
Shrutasam Asmi Janavi.
स्रोतसामस्मि जानवी। पवनः पवतामस्मि।
पवनः पवतामस्मि।
रामशस्त्रभृतामहम्।
रामः शस्त्रभृतामहम्।
जशानं मकरश्चास्मि।
जशानां मकरश्चास्मि।
स्रोतसाम् अस्मि जानवी।
स्रोतसाम् अस्मि जानवी। पवनः पवतामस्मि।
Pavana Pavatamasmi
रामः शस्त्रभृतामहम्।
Ramaha Shastra Britamaham
जसानां मकरश्चास्मि।
Jasana Makaraschasmi
स्रोतसामस्मि जानवी।
Shrotasamasmi Janavi Pavana Pavatamasmi. There's no one left.
Okay, Pavanah Pavatamasmi.
Ramaha Shastra Britamaham
Ramah Shastrabritamaham.
Jasana Makaraschasmi
Jashana Makarashasmi.
Shrotasam Asmi Janavi.
Srotasamasmi Janavi. Okay, where is Dhruv? Sriram, did he drop? Did you drop off?
I think Dhruv went upstairs to grab the copy of the book.
Oh, that would have been fine. We could have shared it on the screen.
Oh.
All
Okay.
right, let's read the translation. So Lord Krishna is saying in this verse that of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. So Krishna is again talking about how he is the best, or what quality of that component is the best in, and he represents that quality of the component. So here that's talking about four different things. One is talking about wind, how as a purifier of things, he's the wind, because wind purifies, obviously. We see that whenever wind performs the work of purification very effectively. It converts impure water into water vapor, which we all have seen. That is a physical phenomenon that happens in nature, right? Impure water, it gets evaporated, gets dried up, and then only the water gets evaporated and it becomes water vapor. And then it carries away dirty smells of the earth, and then it makes fire burn by fueling it with oxygen. So thus, it is a purifier of nature. Um, and among the purifiers of nature, Lord Krishna is saying that he is wind. Any questions on this point? Yesterday's class, people had very nice questions on this point.
Wait, does this like point mean that like every like this is like one of like Krishna's infinite types of manifestations, like what he is the best in,
Correct.
like the best of anything, any category, basically.
That's right. And Krishna is trying to enumerate all the categories that we experience in our lives. Like he said, sun, moon, strength, the ability in man. Then he talks about how he's the Airavata among all the elephants, he's Garuda among the birds, he's the snake Vasuki. Like that, the best of different categories. And in the category of purifying agents, he's saying, I'm the wind. Wind as a purifier. Have you all ever thought of wind as a purifier? Why not? For example, our body, right? When we take in air, of course, wind and air are not the same, but air is a subset of wind, isn't it? So when we take in air, what are we doing? We are taking in the air, and the oxygen in the air is purifying our blood. And the blood is carrying that oxygen to different parts of the body and generating through whatever process the energy. Therefore, even when somebody is sick, they try to open the windows and doors to allow pure air, fresh air to come inside, so that we can feel that fresh air and feel good about it, right? And the example I was talking about, how water, whether it's dirty water or ocean water or river water or reservoir water, any of this water evaporates, and it's coming down as rainfall as pure water, isn't it? And what else? So that's also done by wind. It converts impure water into water vapor. That is done by wind, and it carries away dirty smells. And somebody was asking yesterday in the class that how can wind, if wind does purification, it also does spread. Suppose there is virus in the air, and wind spread. If there is a wind blowing somewhere, and it carries the virus, isn't it? Like the California forest fires now, because of wind, it's getting worse, isn't it? Now, why did you all not ask me that question? How is wind doing that if Krishna is saying that he's the purifier? What is your question, Nivan?
Like I don't get why that's wind. Like, wouldn't that be like the water vapor one? Like that would be more like,
Water vapor is part of the wind. I mean, the air or whatever it holds. It is
wait,
held
but
by
isn't wind like
blowing, something
moving
which is
air?
blowing, right?
Like moving air.
Right. I mean,
So
it is subset. That's why I said air. When I said breathing air, that is all subset of wind. You're right. You're right in exactly using the word wind. It doesn't. But and actually, wind helps in condensation. Wind, what it does, it blows the clouds towards the mountains. And when the winds hit the mountains, when the clouds hit the mountains, rainfall happens. If there was no wind, clouds wouldn't travel as much as easier as they travel with wind, isn't it? That is understandable, right? And when the clouds come across mountains where trees are there, condensation happens and rainfall happens. Correct? So indirectly, wind is responsible for this whole process of purification of dirty water to evaporate, which is also carried in the air, and then this evaporation converts into clouds, and clouds move. So everything is interconnected, though sometimes we feel like it's not, doesn't make sense as it is, but interconnected. That's what we have to look into deeper. And then coming to the question of how can wind, yeah, wind is good, it purifies, but then wind is also cause of certain things that we are now experiencing, like how the California wildfires or the virus that spreads by wind. Yes, of course, those two also happen. So this material world is duality, correct? It has good and bad. But the theme of these verses is trying to explain how Krishna is the cause of all causes. Yes, he is present in the wind as a purifier. But at the same time, the same wind can also cause destruction to humanity. It doesn't mean that even for that Krishna is the cause, but there is a reason why that cause is happening, whatever reason it is, which we got beyond our understanding. But in this theme, we are trying to understand the glories of Krishna because we remember somebody by their glorious qualities, isn't it? We are amazed by glorious qualities. And Krishna is telling those qualities that you're amazed by, that you see in nature, actually are because of my presence or because of my extension or my expansion. That's what you all have to have bottom line understanding of why we're reading these Krishna's splendorous things in nature. Any questions? Nivan, are you convinced with the answer for your question? Or are you still sort of confused?
I'm convinced, yeah.
Okay, good. Anything else, boys and girls? Yes, Sri Ram.
If Krishna is behind like the bright, beautiful flowers in nature, is he also behind like the brown, dead ones?
Yeah, he is. Because Krishna is in everything, every atom, every cell, every living entity, even the virus that causes harm to us. Krishna is present in the, as is Paramatma in that also. Krishna is the cause of all causes. But this material world is having good and bad things. And we, by realizing that Krishna is the cause of all, by studying that Krishna is in these wonderful things too, remembering Krishna more, we choose only good things and finally elevate our consciousness to always be with that goodness and to reach a state where we experience only goodness, where there is no duality. That is the ultimate state that we all want to be. We want to be in a place where there is no duality. There's good, bad, there's heat and cold, there is nice and mean, there is truth, false, there is old age, there is young, there is new, there is old. These are all dualities, and Krishna is the cause of all these things. But we want to transcend and go beyond all this. And for that, we need to understand Krishna as the cause of all causes. And for us to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, Krishna is first representing and portraying and showing us where he is among the splendorous things in this material nature. We want to remember Krishna through his splendor.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Prajit, you had your hand up, went down.
Yeah, specifically, why does Krishna say that he is the Ganges? What makes the Ganges so much better compared to like the other holy rivers?
I'll tell you, I'll come to that now. We're going to go one after the other. The points. We are doing first wind. Next, we are going to the wielders of weapon. That's the second point, right? You jump to the last point, which is okay, but we'll get there. Supreet, you had your hand raised, beta.
I was gonna ask why, for the second point, why he chose Rama as the best wielder of weapons.
Okay, so we're going to the wielders of weapon. What does wielders of weapon mean? One who's holding weapons, right? And is that right? Wielder means holder of weapons. Among the holders of weapon, Rama is the best because Rama, when he took the avatar, when Lord Krishna incarnated as Lord Rama, he appeared as a human being. However, being a human being, he tried to show how to live a righteous life, which is reachable by each one of us. Generally, we think, oh, God can do that, or some mystic power they can do. But Rama did not show any mystic powers when he appeared. He, as a human being, holding the weapons that he, as a Kshatriya, he was born into a Kshatriya family, he was the king. And at a very young age, Vishwamitra had come to take him to the forest to fight against the demons that were disturbing the sages from all the yagnas they were doing, which was the Yuga Dharma in that Yuga. Kali, in Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma of realizing God was through yagnas. And when Vishwamitra and all the other sages were performing these great yagnas for the welfare of the humanity, these demons would come and drop flesh into that yagna and pollute and desanctify the whole place. So then Vishwamitra could have destroyed those demons, but he, as sages, they don't want to use their power and exhaust their power in destroying the demons. That was the dharma, or that was the job of duty of Kshatriyas. That's why sages, though they had the power to destroy the demons with their mantras, with the utterance of these powerful hymns that they knew, they would not use that power and waste it to destroy the demons. They would employ or engage the Kshatriyas for the same purpose. So he went and requested Lord Rama, who was very young in his teens, and then Dasharatha was worried, oh, he's so young. But Vishwamitra said, don't doubt my trust on the potency of Lord Rama, of Rama. He didn't say Lord Rama, of Rama. So he takes Rama at the young age. So Rama and Lakshmana walk into the forest at a very young age, holding those weapons of bow and arrows. Of course, the quiver with the arrows and bow. So among the wielder of weapons, I am Rama, because Rama is a human being. He came as a human being. Sorry, he's not a human being, but he appeared as a human being, and he performed his pastimes as an ordinary human being and did not cross the line of righteousness. He did not yield to temptations. He did not yield to distractions. He did not yield to bad association or anything. And that's why Rama is given as the representation of the wielder of weapon. Now we in Kali Yuga, what does this wielder of weapon, how is it relevant to us? What is the model do we take? Do we carry weapons in Kali Yuga? Of course, we are not. If you're in army, maybe you will carry, right? But in our daily life, what weapons do we have to carry? And what are the demons that we have to destroy? Can you all answer?
Perhaps like the demons that we have to destroy are the ones within us, like all the temptations that you're talking about.
Awesome. Very nice, Prajit. You are right on spot. And Nivan, what do you have to say?
Oh, like the demons would be like the like anger, lust, and all that negative, like negative type of emotion in
Amazing.
the
You all
body.
are
And then
very
the
intelligent.
weapons, the weapons that you should carry is like your like right mindset.
Right,
Like
right. You're
how
getting
like
almost there. Yeah. So you told me the demons and you're almost getting close to the weapon. Let's move on to Sri Ram.
I think the thing that you should destroy is ignorance, and the weapons you should carry is goodness and passion.
Wow. So ignorance is a demon too. Very nice, very well told. Identify. So we identified the problem, which is what are the demons? Demons are ignorance, distracting things, temptations, associations, bad associations. Now, what is the weapon we have to carry? We have to carry the weapon of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. It's not a physical weapon that you're going to carry and show it off to people. Hey, I have this weapon, I'm going to destroy. And the demons that we're talking, all these ignorance, temptations, are the demons within us. It's not like I'm going to fix others' demons. Each one of us have these demons within us. And I'm not working up thinking about destroying the demons in you. I have to work on destroying the demons within myself. Correct? And for that, I have to carry the weapon of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And the weapon is knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and the quiver is our mind and our intelligence. And inside the quiver of mind and intelligence, you put the verses of Bhagavad Gita, which are the arrows. So each of these verses that you have been learning for the last several years are the arrows in your quiver of mind and intelligence. And when the situation comes, you're going to use that arrow to destroy the demon. When Krishna, whenever you are in a situation where you are troubled, temptation, then you have to remember those karma yoga verses that you learned, where Krishna says, act with my consciousness, with complete knowledge of me, without attachment to results, free from proprietorship, give up laziness, always think about me, be nice to others, don't be an enemy to others, be kind to others. All these are different verses from Bhagavad Gita, which are like the arrows in your quiver of mind and intelligence, and you shoot them against the demons that rise or pop up in your consciousness, right? So this is how we learn this verse, and application of this verse is actually very, very apt here in this case. The other verses where Krishna says, oh, I'm the wind, purifier, I mean, we cannot really do much. Krishna is just stating a fact. This particular example in this verse of Krishna, of Lord Ramachandra as a wielder of weapon is very, very inspiring for us to see how, first of all, Lord Rama appeared as ordinary human being and stuck to righteousness without yielding to temptations, and how that should be role modeling for us, and how do we use the weapons that we can, in the age of Kali, the chanting of the names of the Lord is also a weapon that we should be holding. That actually destroys. It doesn't have to be even applied. Just by chanting, the activity does both. It purifies us and it destroys also. So that is another strong weapon that we all have to hold every day, if possible, maximum majority of the time. Any questions
I have
on?
another question.
Yes.
So, were there other humans back then that like displayed like ways of showing having a righteous life other than just Rama?
Can you say that again?
So, were there other humans like back then that displayed like qualities of living a righteous life other than Rama, and they
Of
were only
course.
human?
No, of course, there were other humans too. But Lord Ramachandra's life has had many challenges, many more challenges. And there was a possibility of him getting yielding to temptations or anything, right? But
Mhm.
he did not. So there are the Pandavas in Dwapar Yuga. They're also righteous people, because of which they become successful in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. They also never took another path, or they followed the instructions, or they were such strongly devoted to Lord Krishna, and they followed everything per their prescribed duties. So there are many other characters. However, Lord Ramachandra is portrayed because he was Lord himself, and he showed in every minute detail, he showed how he never ever got distracted from the path of righteousness. I mean, there are many characters. Like you can say the characters in Dwapar Yuga, you see Pandavas, right? Why even Lord Ramachandra's father, uh,
Dasaratha?
Dashratha, also was very righteous. And of course, God chooses to be born into those families who are really righteous, right? If God appeared, that means it is a righteous family. Yes, Supreet.
So I was curious about something. So whenever Vishnu incarnates on Earth, right?
Mhm.
Why does he appear like in like families? Why does he appear in like conditions that are like not suitable? Like when Krishna came to Devaki and Vasudev, they were like in jail. So why does he like appear in those families?
That is only right. So, for example, Lord Ramachandra's appearance was not in a unsuitable situation. That was nice into a glorious. I mean, it was not that example that you're thinking about. Any other examples that you're thinking about where you have this question? I'll explain why Krishna was born, but um, because we want to first I frame the question properly, correct?
Mm.
So maybe your question is about why did Krishna choose to be born in that precarious situation where Vasudeva and Devaki were in the jail and he was about to be destroyed or killed by Kamsa. That is your question, correct? It's not about all the incarnations. Is that your
That's
question?
my question.
Okay. Yeah. So again, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he comes whenever he appears, there is a reason why he appears. So the verse that says about that is Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So he appears first of all to protect his devotees. That is the first line he speaks in Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam, meaning I come because I want to protect my devotees. Next thing he says, vinashaya cha dushkritam. Then he comes, next job he does is destroy the demons. And then by protecting the devotees and destroying the demons, he establishes righteousness. So these are the three reasons he appears. Now, in Dwapar Yuga, when he appeared, you know how Devaki and Vasudeva were devout worshippers of Lord Narayana, right? So he appeared to protect them. They were in a very precarious situation, right? And of course, to destroy Kamsa, who has been troubling people for so many decades and years of the Dwapar Yuga. So many people. He didn't care about putting his own sister in jail and even killing her kids for his own sake. So that is epitome of selfishness, epitome of self-centeredness. And Krishna had to come to prove how his devotees sacrifice anything to be able to facilitate. For example, when which Krishna appeared in the jail, he first appeared in the four-armed form. He didn't appear like all of us, right? He appeared in nice, beautiful garments. He had silk clothes. He had all the jewels. He has Kaustuba jewel also. So he appeared in the four-armed form to first make Vasudeva and Devaki know that he's not an ordinary person, that he's God himself. And then after that, he converts himself. Devaki says, no, 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 convert yourself into an ordinary boy. I don't want Kamsa to know that you are God here who appeared and he'll come and destroy you. Because Devaki, out of love, was concerned about Krishna, though no one could do anything to Krishna, but Devaki, out of love, was concerned for her child. So he immediately converts into ordinary boy, and then he says, now take me into to Gokul, where Mother Yashoda is lying on her bed. Put me beside Mother Yashoda. Now see, Devaki and Vasudev, they just had the baby and they were inside the jail, which was already closed. The doors were locked. They were in shackles, right? And Krishna is saying, no, take me and put me in that place. Now, for people like us, we'll get so many questions. We're like, oh no, I'm scared to go because Kamsa will know the doors won't open. It's raining outside. It was raining terribly that night when it was pitch dark and it was raining. It was heavy thunderstorms. Amidst all these situations, if devotees are not there and they don't have faith in the instructions of Lord, they will put all sorts of questions saying, can't do it. It's impossible for me to move you there. But Vasudeva and Devaki knew that if Krishna is asking me to do something, it is for the good of everyone. So they were mentally prepared, and Vasudeva took the baby to his chest and as soon as he started walking, his shackles opened. The doors opened. The doorkeepers fell asleep. And then Yamuna was actually flooded. But Yamuna made the way. So all this happened not because Krishna's arrangement. Of course, it is Krishna's arrangement. But without the faith of Vasudeva and Devaki, this will not happen. Krishna's arrangement is always there. It is given. Krishna is powerful. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if Devaki and Vasudeva did not have the faith and did not be obedient to the instructions of Krishna, this wouldn't happen. So to prove how his devotees are so faithful and don't care for their own self, but put Krishna in the center. So much message, so many things to learn from the appearance of Lord Krishna. So, and this particular appearance in the form of Krishna, who is Sampurna Avatar, in this avatar, Krishna came himself. He didn't have to do 100% Krishna came himself in that avatar. And Krishna's appearance is so glorious that from the time he was born, he's teaching us message to see how my devotees are, how they do things when I tell them to do without even a question, without even doubting. For us, if Krishna asks us to chant every day or Krishna asks us to memorize the verses, we give 1,000 reasons for not chanting and reading the verses or learning the verses every day. Yes or no? No excuse. All of us do that because we think we don't have faith. If we have faith, we will say, oh, it is good for me if I read this verse and I learn these verses, because when I grow up, I will be a better person. I will really fulfill the purpose of my human life. So I will learn these verses, and that is a faith. With faith, when we do it, Krishna will open the doors for us. He will clear the obstacles for us. So that is one of the reasons Krishna appeared in that precarious situation, because that Leela was like that. But Kamsa was getting overboard. He was really becoming very wicked, and then until Krishna appeared, it wouldn't stop. That's that answer, a long answer for you, Supreet. Is it satisfying?
Yes, Auntie.
All right, thank you. So that's about the wielders of weapons. The next one is among the fishes. I'm the shark. Shark again is a mighty aquatic animal. It represents power. It represents dominance. It represents rule of a category like aquatic animal. Shark is the powerful, isn't it? It can overtake any other water bird or animal, isn't it? Whale is big, but it is not carnivorous, I think, right? It is herbivorous. It is not, doesn't represent power. Here we shouldn't think, oh, shark kills others, it's mean, but the qualities of power, dominance, all those are coming from Krishna is representing himself as a shark in the water body or aquatic animals. I don't have any pastime to relate here for shark. We'll move on to the next one about among rivers. Krishna says, I am Ganga. So rivers are water bodies. We have oceans, we have rivers, we have lakes, we have reservoirs. But rivers are generally flowing, originating in the mountains. They flow through the cities, towns, villages, and finally culminate in the ocean. That is how it happens, right? Especially in India, in the Himalayas or in Western Ghats or Eastern Ghats, they're born out of rainfall or whatever origin, right? Different origin. So Ganga is actually not originating in earth. It originates in the spiritual sky, up in the spiritual world. That is the significance of Ganga. Who was asking me about Ganga here? Was it Prajit? Huh. So Ganga is unique and different in that Mother Ganga's origin is in the spiritual world, in the spiritual sky. But how did then Mother Ganga come into this material world? There are two pastimes, and I will share those. Carefully listen to those. So one is about how Krishna took the avatar of Vamandev. We all know that, right? Vamandev was the dwarf incarnation of Lord Krishna. He appeared as the son of Aditi and Kashyapa, sage Kashyapa. And then the purpose of his appearance again was to destroy or to control the power of Bali Maharaj. Who is Bali Maharaj? He was the grandson of
Prahalad.
Prahalad. Very nice. So when Bali Maharaj appeared, unlike other demons in this family, like Hiranyakashipu, Bali Maharaj was a very devoted and not demoniac, though he belonged to the demoniac dynasty, he wasn't a demoniac person. However, his goodness was spreading so much that he was overtaking the entire three world. That was how it was becoming goodness. So at one point, the Devatas thought if Bali Maharaj becomes the ruler of the entire three worlds, then it is not good, right? Of course, he's a good man, but who knows his progeny, how it will be. So it's not good for the power to be in the hands of demons. So they requested Krishna, can we make some plans to ensure that Bali Maharaj does not become the governing or the ruler of the entire material creation. So Lord Krishna appears as Vamandev. Bali Maharaj was in this event or in this charity act where he declared to the entire world that he's going to give away in charity to people for anything they ask. Whatever they ask, I'm going to give away in charity. Because he was capable of doing that. And he was really true to his word. Unlike all of us, maybe general human nature is we tell something, but when it comes to really doing it, we might sometimes back off, right? But Bali Maharaj was true to his word. And when he announced of his charity event, people from everywhere in the world came, they stood in line and asked for things. And Vaman Dev took this as a context and then went and stood in the line. Bali Maharaj's guru, Shukracharya, cautioned him, saying, this dwarf is not an ordinary man, looks like his Lord Hari himself coming to take away everything from you. And when Bali Maharaj was told this, though he wanted to follow the rules of his guru, he bows down to him and says, I'm thank you for giving me this heads up. But since I have already told or announced that I'm going to give away anything in charity, I cannot break my vow or break my word. And on top of it, if Lord Hari himself is coming to my door and asking for something, how can I back off? It is my fortune that Lord Hari is coming to me and asking me for something. Right? He very politely, humbly, submissively, respectfully tells his guru that I cannot back off. So kindly excuse me. And then when Vamandev comes to him, as expected by Shukracharya, Vamandev asks, I need 3 footsteps of land. And to which Bali Maharaj happily, enthusiastically agreed. And as soon as he agrees, Vamandev expands himself and grows into this, grows, and becomes this gigantic form of infinite size. Infinite size meaning very huge size, that he, with 1 footstep, takes the entire earthly planets. With the next footstep, he takes the entire sky. And the 3rd footstep, he asks, where is it? And then Bali Maharaj says, I don't have anything else to give except myself. So you can take myself. You can put your foot on my head. So in this process, when Vamandev lifts his leg to occupy the entire universe, sky, he pokes his thumb, his thumb finger of it's called thumb finger or the big toe, the biggest toe of the foot, makes a crack on the spiritual sky. And through that crack comes the nail of the big toe of Vamandev, makes a crack on the sky, and through that crack flows Mother Ganga, because Mother Ganga is in the spiritual sky. And Mother Ganga, a few drops, when she flows down, immediately Lord Brahma collects the water of the flowing Ganga into his kamandal. Kamandal is that small kettle-like holding thing which the sages hold for purification, right? So Brahma immediately collects that water into his kamandal and then distributes into only the heavenly planets. No, it doesn't come into the earthly planets yet. See, the material creation is categorized into three divisions: the heavenly planets, the earthly planets, and the hellish planets. And heavenly planets are higher than the earthly planets, where all the way top till Brahma Loka. So Lord Brahma distributes that Ganges water to the heavenly planets. So this is one pastime as to how Ganga flows from spiritual sky into the material planets, limited to heavenly planets only. Now we all know Ganga is also on earth, right? On earthly planets, Ganga flows. Now, how did it come? That's another pastime. So what happens long ago in many, like maybe in Treta Yuga, because this pastime talks about yagnas. There was one great king called Sagara, and he performed a great yagna called Ashwamedha Yagna. Ashwamedha Yagna meaning they perform yagna, fire sacrifice. And at the end of the yagna, they leave a horse. A horse is let go of, and the horse, as it walks and walks and walks, it enters new kingdoms. And if it enters new kingdoms, whichever kingdom it enters is supposed to come under the reign of the king who let go of the horse. And if the ruler of the kingdom where the horse goes thinks that I can challenge the king, I don't want to let go of my kingdom, then there would be a war between the king who let go of the horse and the king where the horse landed. But if the ruler thinks that no, this king is too powerful and I cannot even wage a war, I will submissively agree for him to overtake my kingdom. So that's how the rulers would acquire other kingdoms. So this horse was let go of, and then it once reached the ashram of a king called Kapila, Sage Kapila, where Sage Kapila is meditating. Okay, meditating sincerely, non-cognizant of what is happening. He didn't even realize the horse entered the ashram. And then the horse started destroying the ashram. It was trampling and it was destroying the ashram. Therefore, what happened? The ashram, then the king's sons came to something that happens. Hold on, I just need to recollect here. So the horse started destroying all the okay. So yeah, so what happens when the horse enters the ashram? The king's soldiers and the army who are keeping a track of the horse, they think that Kapila Muni kept the horse captive in his ashram, while Kapila Muni did not do that. So they thought that Kapila Muni kept the horse captive in his ashram, and they started destroying the ashram left and right. When Kapila Muni opened and saw what the havoc was being created, he gets very upset and he turns all the sons of the king into ashes by his vision, because that is a potency of a person who meditates and who does the mystic thing, right? So he gets that power and he destroys all the king's sons, and they become ashes. And after that, many generations pass, and then one of the descendant of King Sagara, who is Bhagirath, he comes to know the pastime or the story of how his ancestors were destroyed in the ashram, and he sees the bones of their ancestors. And then he thinks, how do I... There is a ceremony or a ritual called Shraddha in the Indian tradition where we offer, where the descendant of a family offers oblations to the ancestors who have passed away. Yearly once they do that on a specific tithi. They offer oblations, and in the presence of a brahmana, they do some prayers so that the ancestors get they get liberated. That is the whole goal. Liberated meaning they get out of this cycle of birth, this cycle of birth and death. So when Bhagirath comes and sees the bones of his ancestors, he's thinking, how do I help my ancestors get liberated? Because They just got destroyed because of some anger of a Muni, right? And then he was told that if Ganga flows in this area, then she can liberate just by her touch, or best just by her flowing, or just by Ganga's water touch, these souls can be liberated. So Bhagirath meditates very austerely, very, very austerely, until Mother Ganga gets pleased. She says, yes, I'm very pleased. So I will come down. I'll flow down to the place where your ancestors' bones are and ashes are. But I have two problems. Problem number one, when I flow from the spiritual sky with so much velocity, with so much speed, then the earth will be hurt. Just imagine if something very fast is flowing down from top of something, obviously something which is below will get hurt, isn't it? Will get hurt and hit. So Mother Ganga says, how can we solve that problem? Because my velocity and speed is so high, I cannot, Mother Earth will be hurt. Then Lord Shiva intervenes and he says, don't worry, you can first land on my matted hairlock. So Shiva is actually also a great personality whom we have to worship and respect in terms of how much he thinks about the protection of the human beings and betterment of human beings. So Lord Shiva says, yes, Ganga can flow first onto my matted hairlock. That's why Ganga is, after first landing in the the hairlock of Lord Shiva, then she flows down to the earth, which is much relatively much less speed or hurt to the earth. In fact, it just flows gracefully without hurting the earth. Everyone with me? Some of you look bored. Are you all following the pastime or no? Okay, so that's why Shiva is also called as Gangadhara, because he one who holds Ganga. And the next problem Ganga says is, okay, one problem number one solved. The next problem Ganga says is, I'm so pure, and when I come down to earth, because of all the human sinful acts, when they come and touch me or when they come and take a dip in me, I will become impure. And I don't want to become impure. What do I do about that? It's just like mixing dirt water with good water. The good water becomes dirty, and the good water is complaining, no, 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 I don't want the dirty water to come into me. So that's the problem Mother Ganga is saying. At that time, it was said to her that when devotees, when Vaishnavas come and take bath or take a dip in your water, O Mother Ganga, then all the impurities that were given by the sinful people will be cleared. And therefore, Mother Ganga can be purified. So Mother Ganga purifies and takes the sin of bad people, but devotees are a step ahead. They dip in the Ganga to purify Ganga too, because they are constantly purified by their chanting of the holy names. It's a very beautiful pastime which we have to know about Mother Ganga, that she came down to purify us, and we have to be very grateful, thankful. At the same time, we should also think how devotees are even more purifying. Devotees who teach us Krishna consciousness, the sages, the acharyas who have given us this knowledge, we have to see them as purifying people and associate with them. And association and purifying is, their purification is through their teachings. Like Bhagavad Gita purifies with Bhagavad Gita verses. Srila Prabhupada purifies us with the translations and the purpose he's giving us for these verses. So we have to see them as purifying people. So this is about today's verse. We talked about how wind is a purifying, and Lord Krishna is that wind, or the purifying, as among the purifying agents, Lord Krishna is wind. Among the wielders of weapon, he was Lord Rama, and we took the message of how we all also should take the weapon of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, we talked about how shark is the greatest among the aquatic animals, and Krishna represents shark. And finally, we talked about among the rivers, Lord Krishna is saying, I am Ganga. And we talked of the pastimes of Ganga. Ganga is purifying, very pure, very auspicious, and those are the points for today. Any questions, any additions you all want to share with us?
Wait, how did Ganga get into Shiva Swami's head? Doesn't like it flow out of his head?
Shiva's, because you're thinking Ganga is huge and how Shiva is holding, right?
Yeah.
That is the magic of divinity.
Oh,
Some things are beyond our comprehension, but things happen. So see, Shiva's hair lock or the matted hair has the capacity to hold Ganga. That's how potent he is. Though for us it looks like a small hair lock, how is it? It's unimaginable for us, right?
oh no, no. My question is, how did she get into his head? How did that happen?
She uh, that's the pastime I just shared. You were not paying
Oh, it was
attention.
that. Oh, it was that same pastime. That's how she still remains in his head to this day.
Yes, yes. Now the way Ganga enters all the time eternally is through from the spiritual sky. Ganga lands into the hair of Lord Shiva, and from there,
It
Ganga
flows
flows.
out from there.
Yes, yes. So Shiva is
Uh,
the
so it still keeps going.
yes. It's always Ganga's route to earth is like that only. Origin is spiritual sky, and route Lord Shiva's matted hair lock comes everywhere and flows everywhere. Yes, Supreet.
Like what point does Ganga like first reach to Earth? Like what point you need?
There are some points which I do not know geographically. We can Google and search. I don't really don't know that point. There is something called Manas Sarovar. I don't know if that is the origin, but I don't want to speculate. I can figure that out and get back to you in the next class. Origin of Ganga on Earth, right? It's a very interesting question. Yes, I would like to know too. Yeah, I'll find that out.
So you said Ganga comes from the sky, right? So does
Mhm.
that mean like Ganga comes as like rain?
Uh, mm, how exactly it flows, that and all is not visible to us because Ganga is coming from the spiritual sky. See, even now, even if you go to Himalayas, which is supposed to be the residence of Lord Shiva, right? Um, People cannot go beyond certain places. It's all not approachable and reachable by humans. So up there, how Mother Ganga is coming onto Lord Shiva's hairlock is something which is magical, which is not beyond our perception. It's not the rain that we see.
Yeah.
These are all to be explored by our divine quest. It's our quest which we can, with our quest, with our interest, with our enthusiasm, with our sacrifice. See, when we want to know something, we work hard, isn't it? Whether it's math, whether it's science or physics, when we want to know how to solve this problem, you work hard and you solve it, and you get to know more about it, and then you find another harder problem. Similarly, spirituality is also a quest. So the more questions you have, the more you try to seek answers by working hard toward it. Of course, but it's very important that you get the knowledge from authoritative sources, not randomly look somewhere. When I said we have to research in Google about the origin of Ganga, that is a topic which is a smaller topic which you can Google, but not all spiritual topics can be Googled. So we should be careful about that.